Yo, what's up, guys? It's a different day, and I couldn't finish recording that video, but I'm gonna go ahead and finish off where I left off. So this trade right here, now this was kind of a rough morning for me. I had the right idea the whole time. It's just both of these didn't play out, and I'll show you why. So start off, I woke up around 6:30 in the morning, around down here, and let me just go into replay. So to start off, I see the 1 minute 200 is holding us lower, right? And what was it? There was still unfilled gap. Yeah. There's an unfilled gap from Sunday's open, and I wanted this to be filled, right? I was, again, same thing as what I was showing you earlier with the unfilled gap. Price is chopping during Asia. We don't fill the gap. 1 minute 200's taking us for longs. See? Got a long 1 minute 200 here. Just chops up. London session kind of reverses, but not really. Still kind of like chopped down a little bit. But we're starting to fill the gap, right? And then we pop back up. So you see how the 1 minute 200 played for longs? And then we come down close below it. And now we play for shorts off the 1 minute 200. It's kind of just giving me, okay, I want to take the 1 minute 200 for shorts to maybe come fill this gap. At least be in shorts from around like up here, and then hopefully it comes down more, and then New York Open happens and it comes down and fills the gap fully. That's like what my thought behind it was. So I went ahead and I placed a sell limit right at the 1 minute 200. It's also OTE of this range. If you draw from high to low, 0.79, aligning with it. So the shorts were valid. I had my sell limit placed right here, because by the time, I'll show you. Look, by the time NQ got up to here, the 1 minute 200 sitting right there. So I had my sell limit placed right at it, and I got edged by like a point. Got edged, and it just flushed. Like 60 points in 2 minutes right after that. I was like, damn, okay. But anyway, I was trying to target to fill the gap as my full TP. And then after fill the gap, I was looking to long the 4 hour 21. See, right here. Because the 4 hour 21 also aligns with 0.886 of the range at 316. So I was trying to come down, TP this, and then take longs off of it to go higher. Just come down, fill the gap, tap off EMAs with OTE, and then go higher, right? But I got edged on my shorts. That sucked. That ended up completely playing out. And then to make matters even worse, see, look, sorry for my dogs barking. See, I still could have taken shorts here. Again, I don't think I was looking at the chart at that time though. But those shorts ended up playing, and now let me slow down. This is where it gets frustrating, right? So again, I told you I was trying to short down to the 4 hour 21, but entry got edged, didn't get into that. And I also got edged super hard on this because I didn't execute it right. But I did a one-on-one member with Alex in the Discord, and literally an hour after our one-on-one session, he hits this to the tick at the bottom, and he holds it for 400 points all the way to the highs. And I'm gonna show you how this played out. So if you draw your fib from low to high, we have 0.886 sitting right here, 315.25. 0.886 also happens to be just down here. I mean, the gap fill was technically here, but no, I'm tripping. Yeah, no, down here. Happens to be with the gap fill, but it's a little bit above the gap fill fully. So my thought behind this was, okay, since we have the 4-hour 21 sitting a little bit below 0.886, pretty much right where the gap fills, around 300 to 315 was like my level for longs. I was like, all right, I'm gonna put my limit at like 308, pretty much like the very bottom of the gap fill. Put in my stops, just around 20-point stop loss, targeting the highs all the way up here to come tap the 4-hour 100. EMA sitting above there. So again, I had the idea to short down to fill the gap. That got edged. And then here's where I messed up here. What I should have done is, knowing that I have a higher time frame EMA, like the 4-hour 21, I should have put my limit a couple of points above it instead of trying to catch it right at it. That was just like a psychology, like it's just a user error. I mean, I know what I should have done. I'm not gonna let it happen again, but it's just one of those unfortunate things. But Alex, on the other hand, went ahead and put his limit right at 886, which was the right move. I just didn't want to risk the 7 extra points for some reason, but it's whatever. So yeah, I got edged on those shorts for 230 points down, no drawdown. And then my longs down here hit 886 to the tick, literally to the tick. And the 4-hour 21, which where I was trying to long at, got edged. See? Now, that still counts as a tap on the 4-hour 21 though. It still technically hit it because it's a higher time frame EMA and it went around 5 points above it before it went off. So that's still counts as a tap. Now, this reaction right here off this level, immediately 225 points in 5 minutes, bro. So that's 230 down that I missed, and then another 400 up here because I was targeting these highs. And I just had to watch all this happen in one day. Kind of sucked, but you know, just happens sometimes. But yeah, that's how this day ended up. Super unfortunate, but you know, life goes on. There's always going to be more setups to take, so it's chill. Now, that day was like a little bit butt, you know, I had the right idea, super confident, and none of it played out. But that's just kind of how trading works. Don't know what these shorts are. Let me get out of replay. But yeah, and then I'm gonna go over I'll go ahead and go over these ones, these trades. Another day. Oh, okay, so this day, Tuesday, I didn't really do much, right? Kind of just like did this. Oh no, Tuesday was the bull run actually. Tuesday, I didn't catch a single long on this day. I caught one long at the very end of the market, all the way down here. This is the only long I caught out of all of this. I should have just pressed buy at the 21 or the 50. But honestly, I wasn't really trying to FOMO into longs, knowing that it could just reverse. But it was one of those days where it just market ripped 800 points. Like, sometimes you can't really predict that. But it's okay that I missed all this because I was like, you know, I'm about to bang out an ace a session and then life's gonna be great. Fuck no. So this is what happens. Market opens here at 6 o'clock right here. I don't know why I have it drawn out there. 6 o'clock. And first thing is I see how bullish we were here. We have this gap that I don't even know why this formed at 4:15 p.m., but it's just an unfilled gap. So I wanted to take longs into that, and I was thinking it might just be one of those nights where Asia opens and it might just rip straight to that gap, fill that, and maybe even target the highs, right? So I went ahead and this 1 minute candle on the market open, it opened and it closed bullish at this 1 minute 9, the 1 minute 21. Even though the 1 minute 9, the 1 minute 21 are still above it and it closed below them, I was going to risk the little amount of money to make a big amount of money, saying I'm going to go for a high RR, hoping that market can just rip straight up. This wasn't off of an EMA or anything. This was kind of just off of like what I've seen in the past before. So once it came back down, retraced a little bit here and didn't close below this candle, I was like, all right, maybe longs will send it. So I went ahead and threw myself into a long. I put my stop loss at the low it made, hoping that this next candle can just sit here and go. But no, this candle opens, comes up, taps the 1 minute 9, comes back down to my stop loss. I actually had my stop a little bit below the low just to give it like a little bit of room in case it does do that. And I ended up getting stopped out like basically to the tick, something like that. And I was targeting here as a partial. Here's my first TP. And then my second TP would have been the highs, which is previous day high. All right, so this trade ended up playing out after getting stopped out to the tick. That one kind of hurt, especially after how the start of the week happened, on this day. I was like, dang it, okay, that sucks. And then to make it even better, so I'm gonna go into replay to show you guys this one. Previous day high gets swept. All right. We come up here. It's almost, I pulled an all-nighter this night. Here's the 4 hour, right? So we have this high right here. Right before the new 4 hour, makes a little order block, there's a high. New 4 hour opens here. We dump. Come down. And then we resweep the high. And the first thing I noticed off this resweep was, if you go on to the, well, you don't even need to go on the 4 hour, but I'll show you. It was ES and NQ were creating a 4 hour SMT. Look, you go on ES, it didn't sweep the high. You go on NQ, it did sweep the high. And this is like, this is just basic 4 hour candle structure. Right, new 4 hour opens, sweep the previous 4 hour high, and then we can flip if there's an SMT. And there was an SMT. So once I got this, what the hell? Oh, I'm still in 4 hour, that's why. Once I got this little doji candle on the 1 minute, and then this candle displaced, I ended up shorting it, literally risking 5 points of my stop loss, like super tight stop. Targeting lows. At least the 1 minute 200. I wanted the 1 minute 200. And that would have been my first partial, and then I would have left like 1 or 2 micros, maybe even 3, to go down and sweep these lows. But this is how the trade ended up going. So I shorted it. It goes here. Right. Oh, ooh, I didn't get stopped. Maybe it was like a 7-point stop. Anyway, there was a 4 hour SMT. I liked the reaction. Shorted it. Comes down here. Trying to full TP the 1 minute 200 right here. Ends up edging me like really hard right there. And I'm just fully break even at this point. Fully break even. And she comes back up and break evens me. Break even me almost to the tick, actually. See? I was like, well, damn. Okay. Maybe my entry was actually a little bit lower. I think it was like here. Anyway, I got edged on this. Didn't come hit the 200. Break even me. Somewhere in here. And then I liked the reaction off this 0.886 tap right here. 983. Came up, tapped 886. It also re-tapped this high, which is right before the new 4 hour. See how it tapped that to tick? And it showed rejection and closed below 0.886. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try these shorts. So then I hop into shorts right here, right? I'm in shorts. Comes down, holds the 50 for longs. And if you don't know already, the 50 is kind of your continuation indicator on the EMAs. And see, we were kind of just like not holding it or breaking it. We're kind of just like going through it, right? You hold it a little bit here, and then we hold it on the second tap. I'm like, damn, these longs might be cooked. So here's what I did, and here's what I did wrong, okay? Instead of keeping my original stop loss, which I'm risking 7 points, bro. Instead of keeping that, or at least moving my stop to the top of the high it made, which would have been 4 points, so I would have been risking like $60 maybe. My dumbass goes break even. And now, let me show you what happens. The reason I shouldn't have gone break even is because if you draw OTE from here to here, the 0.886 that I took my shorts off of, right? I took these shorts for a reason, because I thought 0.886 was going to play. And then if you draw OTE from here, from the high to the low it made, that's also 0.886. So this big range OTE is 886, and this little small range it made is 886 right here. See? So, you know it's also break even? My break even is 0.886 retest. And this is why this trade failed for me. Comes back up, break evens me at 0.886, my entry, break even. And then it just flushes down to my lows that I wanted. And keep in mind, I was trying to short this the whole entire night. Once we broke these highs, I was just trying to short this shit the whole time. This sucks. Because my longs got stopped out to the tick. I get break even to the tick. And here's a 1 to 13 RR that played out. And then here's a 1 to 25 RR that played out. And I missed out on both of it due to my stops being at the wrong place, getting stopped to the tick on both. Boom. TP smashed. I was like, damn. Well, that sucks, because that's Asia low right here. So, that was super, super unfortunate. But stuff happens. Now, I haven't really been trading NQ a lot this week other than this. It just hasn't been too... I mean, just look at this, bro. It's just not looking great. But you know what has been looking great? Bro, gold's been looking insane recently. It's been looking really good. See, we just kind of trend. Like, once we trend one way, we just keep trending all day. Look at this. This is from 6 in the morning, new 4-hour candle. Boom. All the way up till the next day. And then the next day, we hit the weekly 50 up here, and we come down. And then, I don't remember what we tapped off here for longs. Might have been, I don't remember. But I have some level there that I drawed out, and it played to the tick, so. Anyway, let me go over these shorts. Alright, because for y'all that don't trade GC and you don't know how to trade GC, GC is really important when NQ is doing bad. So, market opens here. Alright, market opened here. 6 o'clock open, kind of go up, chopping. We're doing about nothing. First thing I realize is we have a daily doji on gold. All right, if you look at the daily time frame, this daily candle went super big wick, bottom wick, and then we close like right here. It's called a doji. So what I see on a lot of dojis is price will kind of come up to like the body of it right here, which is right here. Kind of come up to like the very top of the body of it, and then from there come back down and come fill the bottom of the wick, which in this case is previous day low. That's a profit. I mean, that's a target for liquidity. So my thought behind this was we're going to open, we're going to rip up to here, and then we're going to flip all the way down, come down, sweep previous day low, maybe retrace a little bit, and then continue down and tap off the daily 50. And then daily 50 can take us higher for longs. Now, the reason this trade was good is because this is the first thing I saw. And I was like, okay, I want to find an EMA sitting right here. Let's go down to the 5 minute. Boom. 5 minute 200 is literally sitting right there. That's a perfect setup in my eyes. So I was like, all right, fuck it. Do I have OTE here? Boom. I got 0.886 with it. I'm going to take this trade. And I'm going to target previous day low. If this isn't the one, then I'll find a different short spot higher. And at this time, I was already thinking shorts because we're rejecting off the weekly 50 EMA. As you see here, these would have been great shorts off the weekly 50, especially due to how it played for longs here. We break through, come back up to retest it, play off for shorts. So yeah, my bias is already shorts. Everything's lining up. I got the 5 minute 200 sitting where I originally was thinking about for shorts on the daily time frame. So I was like, all right, fuck it. 0.886, 5 minute 200, daily doji, all of it's aligning. I'm going to go ahead and short this. But I didn't short it with my stops at the high because, again, this is market open down here. We have not swept a low and we have not swept a high. And for market to reverse and go into one full reversal, it's got to at least sweep some 4 hour high, 4 hour low, something, right? There's got to be a target for it to go to eventually go the other way. So I had like a 6 point stop, which I usually don't do on GC, but I had around like a 6 to 7 point stop, no pun intended, and shorted this, targeting previous day low, right? The trade looked good at first. Boom. Come in. I'm literally tapped in like to the tick on this right here. 0.886 tap with the 5 minute 200. And then I just put my phone down, started hitting some golf balls. But yeah, I had my stops higher because just in case it swept the 4 hour high sitting right here, and then maybe wants to go down. So that's the reason that I did that. Just gave it some room for it to play off of. If it does sweep, ends up coming above my entry, sweeping these 4 hour highs, and then we displace off of it. I'm like, all right, that's what I'm looking for, right? Looks good. This shit looks like it's about to go tap previous day low. So remember, I'm still hitting golf balls. I'm not really looking at this trade, but I'm letting it go. And then I come back and I look at it like right around here where it's at right now. I'm like, oh, this looks really fucking good. But I didn't even draw my OTE out from low to high that it made. And I should have, because look what happens here. Comes down. This is right before the new 1 hour, by the way. 8:53. Comes down. 8:57, 8:58, 8:59. The new 1 hour. Makes a bottom wick, taps 0.79 to the tick. Now, if I was sitting at my desk on my computer, I would have seen this. And in this case, I would have went ahead and trailed above this high. Because look, we're making lower highs. High, boom, high, boom. They're all going lower. High, boom. Now for this trade to continue playing out, what I would like to see would be it hold the 1 minute 21 again, and then we go lower. But I didn't see this reaction. Put my phone down right before this happens, and I come back, and I was still holding break even on this. I held full break even, and I come back, and this trade's like doing this. I'm like, fuck. And then once it's like back up here, I finally realized it's playing off 0.79 to the tick. But since I'm already like this deep into this trade, I just held break even. Comes back up. Break even me to the tick at first because again, at 5 minute 200 was there. So that kind of scared me that it was going to dump off of that. But ended up going higher, which is cool. Kind of sucks I didn't get trailed out in profit because I didn't see that, but you know, shit happens. And I ended up just taking longs because after we played off 7-9 and didn't sweep previous day low, every higher time frame just looked bullish. We're holding the 4-hour 9. We're also holding the, what was it? We're holding some other higher time frame EMA, but yeah. So it came back down, first 9 EMA tap after this breakout above these highs. Came down, was holding it, and it genuinely wouldn't stop holding it. See how we're just riding this 9 EMA? I was like, fuck it, I'm going into a long. So I just threw myself into a long on this shit off the 9 EMA. Targeting the next high. Stops at the low, and I went in a little bit heavier on this than I did with this trade because I was not trying to get off like that. And ends up putting me in longs, and we skyrocket to the highs. Plays out for longs. And then I had really good longs here. Now this trade was low-key hell sitting through it. Just took way too long to sit through. I'll show you. So it comes here. We're holding the 100 really well. I went ahead and longed, or was it? Yes. So no. Let me go back. This was kind of one of those where it was kind of obvious where the trend was going. Like I said, gold goes one way and it'll keep going that way. Come up, it goes this way for a bit. Come down, like gold's super trendy recently, and this is what you want to see on gold, on metals, because you just want to catch that trend. So after we're playing off the 7-9 tap of the whole range for longs, I'm like, all right, I'm only gonna look for longs again. So I think I ended up longing the retest of the 50 with my stops just like all the way down here. I don't know why I have this drawn out. Entry was not down there. So it was like that, targeting the highs, hoping that it just trends up the whole time, because higher time frames kind of telling me that. See? Higher highs, lower highs. We're just trending. Oh, it was a 5-minute 9 EMA tap. I think it was this tap right here. So with a 1 minute 50. But I'll just go ahead and throw myself into a long here. And I had my stops a little bit below this low that it made off the 1 minute 50 tap. So I'm in longs. And we finally break out off of this right here. I think it was 886 tap at that internal. And yeah, it came so close to my break even. I was break even on this trade after like, because I took a partial right here. And then I was break even on this trade. Bro, it came so close to it. Look at that. Edges the 100 and then just finally takes off. And I just let this trade go overnight. And there you go. Caught that. I just want to see it hit TP. Bang. Oh, bang. There you go. And then I got one more trade to show you guys. So this trade was taken Friday, so yesterday. It's Saturday right now as I'm recording this. So what I noticed on gold, so like when I was taking these longs, my next short area was going to be the daily 200. Right here, daily 200, daily 100. Because if you draw your OTE out from the daily time frame, high to lowest low, the daily 200 and the daily 100 are almost crossing. and they align with 0.886. That's an A+ setup right there to take shorts off of. So, going to replay. 8:30 news comes out, fucking shoots that shit up. We start closing above the 886, and I didn't necessarily like that, but I wasn't like tripping about it. So once it came, made a high right here, came and reswept a high. I just threw myself in a short with I was running a pretty big stop on this, probably like a 10 to 15 point stop. So when I'm trading gold and I'm trying to catch a bottom tick or a top tick, I'll risk like 3 to 5 points on my stop. But on a higher time frame trade like this, and with their news just coming out, I didn't know if this was gonna like create like big wicks and shit and then dump. But I knew it was gonna dump off of this level. Like there's no way it doesn't respect the daily 200 and daily 100 with 0.886. I couldn't see it not happening. So I was doing this, targeting the 5-minute 200. Full TP would have been the data lows if it wanted to come back down during New York session. But yeah, so I shorted the resweep of the high here. Now I'm in shorts. I'm running a decent stop loss. And yeah, it kind of chops around. And I was talking to the members in Discord. I said, the second that this 5-minute chart makes one 5-minute bearish candle, we're gonna short, because we're just bullish candles in the 5-minute. I'm saying, all right, we're at my level. One bearish 5-minute candle, and this shit's gonna short. Makes a bearish 5-minute, and then the next ones are just bearish. See? But this trade ended up, I was literally sitting in this trade all fucking day. All day. I never even went break even on this trade. I just held my stop like that. And it just kind of... Oh. I was running an original stop on that. Yeah, no. Okay. Because it retested the daily 200 up here. And 0.886. So no, I was not break even that soon. I was still holding this. If you don't believe me, just post it in my Discord, post it on my Instagram. Check it out if you want. But yeah. My entry was at like right here. Still stop at the high, targeting these lows. Because, again, you don't get the full breakout until it comes and retests OTE more than like 90% of the time. So there was no point in being break even. But came back, retest OTE, and then we get a break below these lows, break below the limit 200. This trade was looking really good until it sits around and chops literally the rest of the day, bro. This shit was sad to look at. I was at the beach and I was just waiting for this to hit TP, and it just like never really wanted to. But, you know, it's chill. Ended up taking profit and being green on the day, so yeah. But if you look at this, caught high of day again on gold, never came back and retested my level, and I just held these shorts all day until it took me out at the end of the market. And at this time, yes, I was holding break even. There would be no reason to keep my stop at the high after we got this retest of OTE here. So yeah, it's kind of what happened. And kind of sums up my trades for this week. This week wasn't a bad week necessarily, but there was just a lot of error. Stupid stuff that shouldn't have happened. And NQ just did not look good this week at all. What the hell was Friday? Genuinely. What is this? This is just sad to look at. But yeah, that'll wrap it up. Hope you guys learned something out of these videos. Yeah. See you. Wait, what? I'll be live Sunday night. I won't be live Monday because I'm going fishing in the morning with my grandpa. So won't be live Monday trading, but rest of the week I'll be live night and morning. So, all right. Hope you guys learned something. See you in the next one.